That's just what we need.
Exactly, squirrel.
So it got me to thinking, you know, man, I'm using my brainwaves to control my car. What other things would I love to control? And I have this super type A personality, and I've always wanted to control Justin. I wonder why. I've always thought it would be pretty amazing to actually be able to keep control over Justin during the show while we're doing the podcast. And I just wish I had some way to do that. I mean, wait, what? You have there's someone in the audience who's going to help me. I'm so excited. Hi, who are you?
Hey, I'm Bill Reith. I live in the jungle down over here, and I just wait for this opportunity all the time. I'm just kidding. I'm a picture. So we have a picture of electrical activity of your muscle. So we can hook it up to Dr. Kiki here first and see if her muscles are working, and then we can go from there. So,
nice to know. I mean, I'm guessing my muscles work. I'm standing here, and I'm not a limp.
I'd honestly be pretty confused if they weren't working.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're looking pretty good right now, standing up. But you have more than 600 skeletal muscles. You probably can't get into the visceral ones or the cardiac.
Right.
Would have to go inside.
But we've got the skeletal muscles.
But yeah, we have lots of muscles, skeletal muscles here. So which ones do you want to use? Hopefully maybe something exposed, or do you want to get naked for the audience?
I'm not going to get naked for the audience. Sorry to disappoint everybody.
Okay, so
but my arm, I think, would be
perfect.
Great.
A lot of skeletal muscles right here.
Yeah.
And we're going to put some little electrodes on her. So do you want the surface electrodes or the intramuscular ones?
Surface electrodes,
okay,
please.
Good, because I forgot my safety pins. We are a DIY company. We don't really have the good stuff yet. All right, so I'm putting 2 on her arm here, and then 1 on the back of her hand. And this one on the back of her hand is going to be the ground, and then the 2 here are the recording ones. So it's differential recording for you engineers out there. This is a little bit of electrical engineering. We're actually going to record the difference, or the difference from here to the one recording one to the ground, and then the other one to the ground, and then we can cancel those out. And what that does is it gets rid of all the noise. Because we have long wires and stuff, and everyone's got a phone, of course. That's going to put noise into our system. So differential recording can cancel that out. Works pretty good to get a good SNR, signal to noise ratio. So I'm going to hook her up.
I'm wired. I will be. This is exciting. All right, now I'm grounded. I feel like I'm going to go into some meditation state. No, I'm very excited because I get to shock Justin shortly.
That's right.
I mean, remote control you.
Part of the plan?
I didn't really get all
the notes. Justin doesn't read the show notes that often, so I felt fine with what we were doing here.
I wonder if you'll start reading them now.
All right, so can we hear, or we don't have any way to show what's happening and whether my muscles are working, but...
Normally we could, if we had a good screen for you guys. We can hook it up to an iPhone or Android phone or computer, and you can actually see this signal, but right now we're just going to hear it. So for you right now, I'm just going to turn it on, you're going to black out, you won't remember a thing. When you come back, you'll feel great.
Snap your fingers, I'll quack like a duck.
I'm just kidding, we're just recording here. So we're going to listen to that electrical activity of your muscles. This is the EMG, and you're going to be hearing it instead of seeing it. But I'm going to turn it on, and go ahead and flex.
Kiki, do a quick step. Yeah, smash. It's very loud. My muscles are loud.
So this stuff's used for diagnostics, ALS, we all know about the ice bucket challenge, things like that. They use this stuff for that, muscular dystrophy, nerve damage, to figure out if your muscles are working. They can do all sorts of diagnoses. So the first one is just to see activation, that's what she's doing here. So let's go to maximum voluntary contraction. Let's see how loud you can make it go. All right, so that's good activation right there. Give her a round of applause for that.
Those are my kickboxing muscles.
Yeah, we all have short attention spans, so let's keep it moving. We're going to take it to the next level, and we're going to hook her up. Not just make noise with it, we want to use that signal to do something, right? So we all know about prosthetic arms. There's people out there that have peg legs, and there's people out there with the bionic arm, which can do 15 different gestures and uses your own muscles to move. So there's really cool technology out there. that does this, and I'm going to hand the microphone to you so I can get her set up to have a prosthetic arm.
I get to have a prosthetic arm. So this, I'm imagining, is the kind of, it's a very basic setup, but if you've heard of brain-computer interfaces, or there's research ongoing to be able to connect people across the internet from one side of the country to the other, to be able to control either people's hands, to be able to control computers, to be able to control robots. You could imagine this kind of a setup, this arrangement, being used by somebody who maybe didn't want to go into the nuclear facility that melted down, and you could send in a robot in your place that you could control remotely. And so this is what we're doing right now. So instead of making noise, I'm now getting to squeeze some pinchers. I am now cyborg.
Yes. You've got 3 arms now. So this is the same thing as we were using before, the EMG spiker box, but this one has an Arduino on it, so it's actually a shield for Arduino. So if you know about that stuff, it's actually a little bit of a beginner's learning kit for electrical engineers. So you can build things and do computer software on it. So this is something that you can hack yourself. And one of our students actually made this little claw, and she can control that with her muscles.
So every time I contract my muscles, there is a little roach claw that is attached to the Arduino that can claw, that I could grab something potentially. Hi, Blair. My reach, I love it. I've extended my reach.
Cool. Yeah. So, like I said, short attention spans. Let's keep it moving, because what's the goal here? We want to control the human. Yeah.
This is the goal. I don't just want to have a claw prosthesis. I would like to control Justin, and this is the goal. This is where we're headed.
So
Justin's leaving.
In the early 2000s, when This Week in Science began at the UC Davis radio station, Kiki and Justin would broadcast sitting next to each other. So when Justin did something extra Justin-y, she was able to kick him in the shins. But now, because we're all in different places every week, we really need a virtual shin kick, is what we need.
Yes, a virtual shin kick would be nice, or in this case, maybe just a twitch, a virtual arm twitch, to just remind you, hey, get back on track, man.
And we have just think for that. It's called a TENS unit. So if you ever heard of this, it's something people use for pain. He actually owns one, so he knows about it a little bit. It's a transcutaneous electrical nerve stimulator, so it stands for. So I'm going to hook that up, if you want to hold the mic, and I'm going to find his ulnar nerve, hopefully, and that's what we stimulate. Ulnar nerve? I didn't even know I had one.
Yeah, so the way this works, since it's all external and we're not going intramuscular or in actually connecting to the nerve. I mean, if this were my physiology lab, we would have dissected the nerve out of the frog's leg and we would be stimulating the nerve itself. But we can't do that. So what's happening is we're recording the muscular activity in my arm. That signal is an electrical signal that's then going through the Arduino unit, getting amplified by the TENS unit, and will be just stimulating his nerve trunk, the ulnar nerve trunk, externally. And the hope is that by stimulating the nerve trunk enough, it'll actually stimulate the nerve to stimulate the muscles to make him twitch.
Don't be shy. Don't be shy.
Well, the only thing I'm a little concerned about is that you really have to pee? Like, how?
I don't think we're stimulating
I understand
that
there's going to be a little loss of motor function here. I just want to be sure.
Okay, let's get this going.
Sign the waiver, right, Justin?
I didn't even know it was a waiver. I just thought it was a signature.
I didn't know I was in the splash, so.
Okay.
I'm going to hook them up. These are just the two signal lines. So one is just going to send the signal out, the other one's going to take it in. So we're actually putting current right into his muscle.
You're gonna get punched in the face.
And
I wouldn't use an opportunity like this. Oh my gosh, look at what this thing's doing. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. Oh, it's not on.
It's not on yet. So, Dr. Kiki has 80 billion neurons in her central nervous system, and they're thinking all these things, and they can think to move her arm, which she can do to make that contraction. And that's going to send a signal down the motor neurons to the spinal cord. These are the upper motor neurons to the lower motor neurons, and those are going to come out all the way down to here where there's the neuromuscular junction. So that's where the one motor neuron actually interfaces with a whole bunch of muscle fibers and releases acetylcholine that changes the electric potential. And then a whole bunch of calcium goes in, and then that makes a spike. That's that little popping noise we heard earlier. And what that's going to do is trigger a threshold to stimulate him with the TENS unit, so we can actually have a human-to-human interface, and you're going to control his free will of his right arm.
I think this is fantastic. Let's turn it on.
All right.
Will it work?
Turn it on low.
Drum roll. Okay.
Go ahead and flex.
I feel. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh look at that. Oh yeah. I can. No, not too high. It's just.
Hey Justin, wave it at
higher.
Let me see if I can overcome this. Okay, so I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to let you have control here.
Wave.
Okay. It's not waving. It's just doing that. I don't know what that. But I'm going to overcome it. I'm going to show you that you can still have free will, even when the robots are in charge.
He's working really hard to overcome it.
Okay, now I've got control. I've run through your battery.
You've run it.
I think I beat it. Unless is there a higher level?
We can turn it up.
Let's see. Yeah. Let's see what
Hey, Justin.
Let's see what you got. What? I can just.
I want to adjust
You have it?
I wasn't ready. That is not easy to overcome. Oh my God.
Fighting it. Fight it.
Yeah, I don't think I quite got this
Okay,
under nerve. We're probably just stimulating some muscle there, but it kind of mimics the contraction that the signal that your brain sends makes that contraction happen. She's actually controlling the prosthetic arm too, so you have 4 arms right now, 1 human, 1 plastic. How about that?
I have 4 arms. This is amazing. It's a dream come true.
It could make some.
And you too can run science experiments with your
Let me
friends.
see if I can write my name while you're doing it.
Can Justin write his name?
I got it, but it's not.
His handwriting looks like a doctor's.
Yeah.
All right, Bill, thank you so much.
That was so awesome.
Great. Dream come true. I will unwire myself so we can actually get to the end of the show.
Wait. We don't we switch?
Nope.
One day when you're the doctor, then you can be in charge.
That's right. Everyone, say thanks to Bill and Backyard Brains for joining us and making my dream come true of controlling Justin for just a little while. Oh, and he's got Backyard Brains stickers for anyone in the audience who's interested. You guys, we have come to the end of our show. Oh my goodness. I want to thank everyone for being here. I would like to thank all of our friends, old and new. Also, SF Sketchfest for inviting us to perform here. Backyard Brains for helping us be shocking. And the Cal Academy of Sciences for continuing to host fantastic nightlife events like this one. And for fighting the good fight for science and climate science literacy, particularly. Shout outs to people who have been joining us online, our chat room. I know you're there, everyone. Thank you to Brian for helping with the video, for Fada for helping on the other end of things for show notes and social media, and for all of our supporters on Patreon. I would like to say thank you, and if you are interested in helping us continue and supporting us, you can find information at patreon.com/thisweekinscience. Remember, you can simply help us out by telling people about TWIS. Help us get more people subscribing. That would be wonderful. And on next week's show, we will be back once again live Wednesday evening at 8 p.m. Pacific time bringing the science the way that we do to TWIS.org/live, where you can watch and join our chat room. If you can't make it though, don't worry. We're at TWIS.org. You can find us by looking for This Week in Science all over the place. Justin forgot to put his microphone
Thank you for enjoying the show. Please, also you can find TWIS as a podcast. We're on the iTunes directory. If you have a mobile type device, there's all sorts of apps for the TWIS for Droid app in the Android marketplace, or simply This Week in Science and anything Apple marketplacey.
For more information on anything you've heard here today, show notes are also available, so the links to all the stories that we talked about today are on our website, twis.org. You can also make comments and start conversations with us, the hosts, and other listeners.
Or you can contact us directly. Email Kirsten at thisweekinscience.com, Justin at twistminion@gmail.com, or Blair Baz at twis.org. Just be sure to put TWIS, TWIS, somewhere in the subject line of your email. We'll be spam filtered into oblivion. You can also hit us up on the Twitter, where we are at TWIS Science, at Dr. Kiki, at Jackson Plan, at Blair's Menagerie. We love your feedback. If there's a topic you'd like us to cover or address, a suggestion for an interview, please let us know.
We'll be back, not here, but on the internet next week, and we hope you'll join us again for more great science news.
And if you've learned anything from the show, remember,
it's all in your head. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We really appreciate you being here. Go have more fun at the rest of the Sketchfest event tonight. There's so much more coming.
Come on up, we have TWIS swag, we have a couple calendars for sale.